So in this video, I'll show you guys how you guys can set up your own EC2 instance. And inside of the EC2 instance, I will teach you guys how you can git clone your Django project and set up Nginx so you can have a deployed version of your project ready ASAP. Um, I will try to divide this video into a two-part or three-part series because of the fact that I don't want to prolong one video um, too much. It's just better to divide um, such huge content into parts, which I think is a better way of delivering information. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So first things first, go to aws.amazon.com, sign up or sign in if you have an account, and go to EC2. So for those of you who are very new to AWS, just you will see this search bar at the top, and if you just type in EC2, you should see EC2 like this. Just click on it and it will open up the EC2 dashboard for you. If I click on instances, I already have two instances, but one is stop and one is terminated. I will click on launch instances right over here, and name and tags, I don't need any name and tag for now. So I will over here select the operating system for my EC2. I will just go with Ubuntu for this one. You can choose any of the others if you like. I have mostly worked with Ubuntu, Ubuntu/Linux, and it's just something that I'm experienced with. But to be honest, it's totally up to you. No big deal. Over here, we have multiple options available. I will go with a free tier eligible AMI because I don't want to pay for anything at the moment. Instance type, you can select any of the instances that are present over here. As you can see, we have 16, we use CPU, 64 gigabytes of memory. So yeah, there are a lot of like specs available here, but it's totally up to you. But I think for now, select any which is free tier eligible for the sake of this project. Over here, we'll have to create a key pair. So let's just go ahead and create a key pair, and this key pair will be used to SSH into this or access this EC2 terminal remotely from our local machine. So I will just call it EC2, EC2 underscore practice underscore project, and key pair type will be rsa.pem file. Nothing to change over here. Just click on create key pair, and as you can see, I have a key pair file downloaded over here. So that's good. So this is probably one of the most important settings. It's the network settings, and over here we defined who can access our EC2 instance and through which mean, whether they can access SSH into our EC2 or not, whether they can access our EC2 instance through an HTTP or HTTPS protocol. This is where we define the security or the network layout. I could select an existing security group, but for this video, I'll just create my own security group. So allow SSH from, I will only allow SSH access from my own IP. I don't want anyone else to SSH into this EC2 machine. That's why I've selected my own IP over here. I will allow HTTPS traffic from the internet, and I will allow HTTP traffic as well from the internet. So that's good to go. And basically, because the thing is that I want anybody who has anybody to access the endpoints which will be deployed into that EC2 instance. Obviously, we'll have token authentication, everything else set up, but that's for another video. So yeah, looks good. Nothing else to change over here. Configure storage. So we have 1x8 gigabytes GP2 root volume. I think for this video it should be good enough. No big deal. Just click on launch instance and let's see what happens. So it's creating security group rules, launch initiation, and yeah, successfully initiate launch of EC2. If you click on this one, if I go to instances, I do see my instance over here. The state is pending, and let me just look at the security settings for a minute. So as you can see, port 443 is where our HTTPS will be accessed, will access our EC2 instance from. Port 443 has to be open on the EC2 side, and the source is 0.0.0.0/0. For those of you who are not aware of what this means, it's very easy. Just let me go to this website. If I do 0.0.0.0 and 0 over here. What I'm basically telling my EC2 instance is that starting from this endpoint all the way to 255.255.255 and so on, I want any IP between this range to access my instance through HTTP or HTTPS. And as you can see, this counts to about 4.3 billion IPs. So basically what I'm saying, any IPv4 address can access my EC2 instance through HTTP or HTTPS. That is what this means. Over here I have SSH 1.25.168.9. Yeah, that is my own IP. This /32 means that only this IP will access it, nothing else will. To give you guys an example, 25 okay 125.168 .99.163 99.1163, and if I do 8, so as you can see, if it's 8, this is the first IP and this is the last one, and the count is 16 million. Yep, that is 16 million right there. But if I do 32, the count is only 1, which is our case. We are only allowing one IP to access this instance. So I think this instance is deployed. Let's see what the status of this instance. Yeah, it's running. So far so good. So what we'll do is we will click on let me just click on this instance right here. Let's click on connect, and there are multiple ways of connecting this instance. You can connect via EC2 instance connect, SSH client, session manager. I will connect through SSH client. So what I will do is I will open the terminal on my local machine. Let me just bring that up. I already downloaded my EC2 practice underscore project.pm file, which is the private key. So what I will do now is it has already given me the settings. Let me just go into the folder where this is located. This is in downloads. I'm over there, and I will copy this command, paste it just to give the permissions, and then command over here, this one. And if I do this, let's see what we get. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes, I do. Okay, so we are inside our EC2 instance. We have successfully connected to our EC2 instance using the SSH method. Now with that out of the way, let me just see where I am. I am in the home directory. I am now in the root directory. Yes, I am in the root directory. What I will do is I will go to, you can go to any folder you like. I'm just going to go into the var folder, and I will do an ls over here. And what I will do is I will git clone my project. So to do that, I have a dummy project which I will be cloning into this EC2 instance. You can have any Django project you like. I'm just cloning the one which I already have. So what I'll do is I will do sudo git clone the repository, and yep, I think it's there. So the repository is over there. Let me just go into the repository itself, and I do see a bunch of files. The first thing is to create the virtual environment. So if I do python 3 -m venv and just call it env, what is okay, it's saying permission denied. So let's just do sudo. It's saying I have to app install python 3.10. Okay, let's do that. Let me see how we can. I think either Python is not installed, or because okay, not created successfully because ensure pip is not available. And this is the exact moment that we will turn to ChatGPT for. Let's see what it has to say. Upgraded Python installation, or we can just look at Stack Overflow as well. Okay, looks reasonable. Python. Let me just resolve this and I will be back with you guys in a minute. So we have another solution which I will be giving a try. Sudo apt update. Let's see if that resolves it. It is doing something. And then I will do sudo apt upgrade. And then we have sudo apt python install python 3 venv. Let me just do that. After this is completed, sudo apt install python 3 -venv. Looks like a lot of these packages needed to be updated, which I have done. Let me try that command again. Okay, need to add sudo, sorry. Seems like it's working. Yep, it's working. Let's see what we have. We have the env folder created, so that's a relief. Now we have to install the requirement.txt. Oh no, before we do that, we have to activate our env as well. So I will do source env/bin/active. Wait, env has been activated, and now what I will do is I will install my requirement.txt. Now you could do a pip3 install, but I did face this issue earlier where I did a pip3 install and I had my virtual environment activated, but it installed those packages globally and not locally. And the way I overcame this problem was that I used the absolute path of my env. No, it has to be sudo as well. So sudo env/bin/pip3 install -r requirements.txt, and that will install all the dependencies inside of my virtual environment, which earlier when I just did a pip3 installed them globally. I don't know why. Possibly if you guys have an answer, feel free to let me know. Now if I do a pip3 list, let's see what we get. So we have all the packages installed. Excuse me. Now that our packages have been installed, let's see if we can do a run server. Cd backend, and let's just do python 3 manage.py run server. Splendid. We have successfully run our application inside of our virtual machine, inside of our EC2 instance. So far so good with that. Now the next step is installing Nginx. Now the command is pretty straightforward, but before I do that, I would like to show you guys one neat trick. I mean, most of you might be already aware of it, but I will open up VS Code. Just makes things super easy. And I will click on this remote window. And basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to connect to my EC2 instance via my VS Code. And to do that, you'll need to have a package in one of these extension installed, which is called remote SSH. So this is what you need in order to do that. So yeah, before attempting this, make sure you have remote SSH installed. So now what I will do is I will do connect to host, and I will do add new SSH host. It's asking for the address over here. I will do that, just add it in, and then what I'll do is I will go into my config over here, or not, uh, configuration file, this one. And so let me see if it has been added. I don't think it has been added yet. Let me just try that again. Add new SSH host. And then what I will do is I'll open this. Yep, now it has been added. So as you can see, this is the identity file over here, but this needs to be the absolute path. This can't just be the file name, it has to be the absolute path over here. So I will just copy this and paste it over here like this and save it. So it has to be the absolute path to that private key, and the user is Ubuntu, host name is over here, everything else looks okay. So now we'll do connect to host, and we should see EC2 5489226. Yep, EC2 5489226. It's this one. So let's see if we can connect to it. And if everything goes well, I should be able to connect. I think so. I think it's working. It's working. Let's see. Yes, I have successfully connected. And before I make any change, I need to install one more save as root. So this is the save as root in remote package which you guys need if you want to save changes through VS Code inside of your EC2 instance. So install this. It is installing and it has been installed successfully. Now what I need to do is I will just do open folder, and let me just open etc. This is where our Nginx configuration will be added. And let me just open the terminal from here. Trust the authors, everything looks good. And splendid. Now what I will do is, let me just clear the screen up a little bit. I will do sudo apt install Nginx. Yes. This will successfully add Nginx into our project. And after Nginx has been installed, I should see Nginx over here somewhere. There it is. There is Nginx right there. I have the configuration.d file folder. And what I need to do further is I just need to go into Nginx. I will go inside of conf.d, and I need to create a new file over here, which will be sudo touch django.config. So once that has been created, I should be seeing a new file any minute now. Let's see if I do an ls. So I can see django.config over here, but for some reason not appearing over there. Let me see if I need to refresh or something. So why won't it appear? Let me just try to open this again. Okay, now it's there. Exactly what we wanted. Now what I need to do is I do have a bunch of settings defined. I already have an Nginx file ready, so I will just copy that. Control C, Control V. But before I do that, let me just do something. I will do net stat plant. Okay, net tools have not been installed. Let's just install net tools. Clear. And what what do we get? So this shows all of the ports which are open and which are apparently listening. So 80 is open, 22 is open, 443 for some reason I cannot see it over here, so I assume it's not open. So any access from HTTPS will fail. So and 22 is obviously open because that is how we SSH'd into this terminal in the first place. But anyways, inside of my Nginx over here, I have defined my location like this slash. Let me just save this and do on Mac, do a Command Shift P. It will open this up and you can see that save as root option over there. Just click on that and you have saved your Nginx configuration. This is not the server name. I will need to add the server IP. If I go back over here to my instance over here, and the public IP is this one over here, 54.89, and just add it over here. This will be the server name. Location slash. So any if anyone opens this IP address on their machine, they will be redirected. The reverse proxy will redirect them to this particular file. It's something with respect to Gunicorn, which I have not set up yet, but I will set up that later on. For now, what I need to do is I just need to run my server like this. If I do just run server, so my server is running, and I will just take this and I will remove this. I will do Command Shift V. Yep. And Command Shift P, save as root. Systemctl, restart Nginx. -t, sudo Nginx -t, just to see whether Nginx is working correctly or not. Now if I copy this and go over here, what do I get? Splendid. We have successfully used Nginx to deploy our Django application, because but there's a lot more to do, because right now the server is, I shouldn't be running my server like this. I should be using Gunicorn just to make sure that if my server does break, it gets restarted again. And the second thing is, if I go to admin, this is not pretty at all because the static files have not been defined. So yeah, I think for this video it's more than enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this. In the next video, I will show you guys how you can do collect static to render your Django admin panel, to get the static files up and running. And the other thing which I will show you guys is how to set up Gunicorn. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a like, share with your friends and family, for that helps me out a lot. Till we meet again in the next video. Mohit Lodi signing off.